Early June, the weather was hot and humid, and it was drizzling outside the window. Buzz buzz, inside the room. The phone on the bedside table kept vibrating. Quiet, quiet, stop making the noise. I'll wake up after a while, Fong Heng, who was lying on the bed, muttered under his breath and habitually reached out to turn off the alarm. Where's my alarm? He thought to himself. In a daze, Fong Heng opened his eyes. The small and narrow room was messy. A small wooden bed and a game cabin occupied about one-third of the room. The takeout food was left on the wooden table and there were a few empty wine bottles scattered on the floor. There was a picture hanging on the wall. A somewhat handsome young man was holding on to his trophy while being surrounded by the crowd who was cheering for him. There was no smile on his face. Instead, there was a hint of arrogance. Fong Heng's body trembled. He suddenly sat up straight and woke up with a start. He was no longer at all. What the hell? This isn't my home. In an instant, countless chaotic messages entered Fong Heng's mind. This body was called Fong Heng, just like him. He committed suicide last night. My soul has crossed over to his body. Fong Heng wondered. Buzz, the phone was still vibrating in his hand. Fong Heng saw the caller ID and the words "Big Trouble" written in the remarks. Fong Heng picked up the phone, and a crisp female voice came from the other end. Fong Heng. You be starred. Fong Heng was silent for a moment. When he heard the question on the phone, he could hear the anxiety in the other party's tone. I'm sorry to have made you worry. What's the matter? On the other end of the phone, Xiaoxi was stunned. In the past, Fong Heng would never say something like, sorry, are you okay? Fong Heng realized that he had said something wrong. In his memory, the original owner of this body had a very violent temper. He was not going to apologize to anyone even. If he was in the wrong, Fong Heng imitated the impatient tone of the original owner of this body. Is there anything else? If not, I'll go back to sleep. Wait, a friend of mine opened a new online gaming company and is recruiting professional players. Her company is very big and the benefits are very good. Xiaoxi bit her lips slightly. I didn't manage to contact you yesterday, so I sent your resume over first. The interview time is set for tomorrow afternoon. Gaming company. For a moment, images quickly flashed past Fong Heng's eyes. His gaze once again fell on the photo on the wall. The original owner of this body was once a professional player from a certain gaming club. At his peak, he had represented his country in the World Championships and had achieved good results in international competitions. However, the original owner had a bad temper and often got into fights with his teammates. Later, to please his girlfriend, he was instigated by his girlfriend to accept money to help others fix matches. Soon, the club's results suffered a sudden decline and the fighting incidents were exposed on the internet. His involvement in match fixing was also found out by the management and he got kicked out of the club. If Xiaoxi hadn't gone around to help him plead for leniency, he might have even been arrested and sent to prison for his criminal actions. The interview is set. Anyway, you better tidy up yourself. I'll pick you up tomorrow afternoon. Xiaoxi hung up after saying that, not giving Fong Heng the chance to refuse. Fong Heng held his phone in a daze, listening to the busy tone after the call was hung up. No wonder, I'm a professional player. Fong Heng's gaze shifted to the simulation game cabin in the room and tried to recollect the memories of this body. The world after he had crossed over was very similar to the parallel world where Fong Heng originally lived, except for one special thing. The King of Gods game. This national game was not just empty words in this world. All humans would be forcefully dragged into the King of Gods space to become players when they reached adulthood. In the early stages, players would have to choose one of the 3 dangerous apocalypse survival games to join, and they would be forced to stay in the game for at least 30 days every year. In addition, every player would awaken a talent skill after entering the game. The previous owner of this body was extremely lucky to obtain the highest level of talent, the S level, in the game, and this also laid the foundation for him to become a professional player. One had to know that there were only a few hundred players in China who had obtained S-level talent. Fong Heng scratched his head. His memory was somewhat lacking and he had already forgotten why the original owner of the body had committed suicide. However, Ever since the original owner of this body was chased out by the gaming club, he had no income at all and he had not paid his rent for more than half a year. Fang Heng looked through his phone again and saw that quite a few messages were pressing for payment of debts. No way could it be that he had died of poverty. Fang Heng had never had any big ambitions and he did not want to be rich. He just wanted to spend his life peacefully. I need to think of a way to get some money. Well, I have an interview related to gaming tomorrow afternoon. Anyway, I'll go to the game to check out the situation. First, welcome back to the King of God Space. Entering the elementary game, Zombie Apocalypse. The game world was considered to be an alternate real world. After players entered the game world, if they died, they would be in a spiritual state and be forcefully sent back to the King of God Space. Unless they had special tools or skills, they would be devoured by the King of God Space after 3 consecutive deaths and be completely dead. When he entered the game and opened his eyes, a pale and terrifying face appeared in front of Fang Heng. A zombie was less than half a meter away from Fang Heng. Fang Heng was so scared that he took 2 steps back. What a shock! After calming himself down, Fang Heng realized that this zombie was his clone. Oh right, S-level talent. Fang Heng opened the character page and switched to the character talent skill observation. Talent skill, zombie clone, talent level, S. Talent description, you have a permanent zombie clone. The zombie clone has 39.5% of the main body's attributes and an additional 780% of the main body's HP. It inherits some of the main body's basic skills and passive skills. After leaving the battle for 7.8 hours, it will regain its full status. After dying, it will automatically resurrect 27.5 hours later. Additional description, by increasing your player's level, the zombie clone will receive a higher percentage of attribute bonuses and shorten the resurrection time. This S-level talent doesn't seem very strong. Fang Heng muttered to himself and closed the game description. He recalled that the zombie clone did not have the capacity for thinking. It only accepted Fang Heng's orders and he couldn't control it after it left his sight. Under normal circumstances, apart from using the zombie clone to fight, the zombie clone could also hack. Even after logging off, the zombie clone could still faithfully carry out Fang Heng's orders. However, it wasn't very clever, so it. What did your zombie notice? Your zombie has picked up some common waste by the roadside. Your zombie continues to move forward. Your zombie encounters a group of zombies that are coming at him. Your zombie continues to explore. Your zombie brushes past a group of zombies. Your zombie picks up a piece of wood by the roadside. Your zombie picks up a piece of wood by the roadside. Your zombie finds a pile of trash by the roadside. Your zombie is trying to search the pile of garbage. Search failed. Your zombie obtained contaminated bottled water during the search. Your zombie backpack is full. Returning to the shelter, your zombie has completed 20 rounds of gathering materials. It is waiting for new orders. Fang Heng quickly estimated the benefits of the hack: some basic building materials, water and food. Without a doubt, these materials and food were extremely useful to survive in this apocalyptic environment. But, can this skill be considered as an S-level? This was the so-called strongest S-level talent. How weak were the other players' talents? Fang Heng curled his lips and couldn't help but complain. Just as he was about to walk around the shelter to see how much materials his previous owner had left him, he suddenly heard a notification sound. Hint: anomaly detected. Hint: a new player has been detected. New player? Could it be that my soul crossover has been detected? Fang Heng's expression changed slightly. Hint: conflict detected. The current player has been identified as a newcomer. Resetting in progress. All your current skills have been forgotten. All current points have been cleared. The backpack has been cleared. Level cleared. The initial number of rebirths reset. Current number of rebirths remaining, 3. What did that mean? Empty his account data. No way. It can't be that bad. Fang Heng felt that things were getting worse. Hint: clearing completed. Automatically resurrect 24 hours later. The resurrection time will be shortened as the player's level increases. Awesome. After reviewing the skill description, Fang Heng could not help but shout out in glee. The biggest change after a skill upgrade was the number of zombie clones. Although there was only one at level 1, Every time a character leveled up, an additional number of zombie clones will be given and the number would be the same as the current character's level number when the character. Welcome to the King of Gods game. New players can obtain talent skills. Hint, since you already have one talent skill, please make a choice. 1. Obtain a new talent. You will have 2 talents at the same time. 2. Upgrade your talent.